Anyways, welcome back to the cast. In the bottom left side of the map here in the round of 8. He's down 1 point. It's going to be the red Zerg player, Team Liquid's Snute. And in the top right, blue Terran player, Altaria, but you guys know him as MajOr. Now to, I guess, explain while we're just chilling, waiting for the game to open up. For those who are just joining us, hello. We had the goal of reaching 700 subscribers today on the stream, and I'm really super stoked we were able to do that. Thanks to all of you for joining us. This cast was actually something I just said, okay, you know what? I spent an unbearably lonely Christmas yesterday all alone in this apartment. No Zombie, got no friends. I couldn't stand in it today for the day after Christmas because it's honestly so boring just being alone. And normally at home, I have a problem being alone because I can just chill, play Fallout 4, StarCraft, whatever. But I can't really in this setup. Playing stuff in this setup is really difficult. Casting is fine, but playing in this setup is not so good. So it's this was more of a tournament to keep my sanity and not go crazy bored. So for those who came and signed up to play, if you guys lost in the early brackets but you're watching the stream, I love you. For those who are still playing, obviously best of luck to these guys. $100 is $100 at the end of the day. I'm really glad everyone's coming out to play for this EU Cup. But MajOr's going for the 3 racks Reaper opener on Orbital Shipyard. God knows that this has to be the most common build on this map. Just the same way you see a Nidus Worm on like every 3rd Runes of Saras map, you see 3 racks Reaper almost every single ZVT here. And this isn't because MajOr thinks Snute's some newbie player, and it's not because MajOr thinks he's got the good micro. God knows he's got lag working against him playing on the European server. It's just the map is so good for this. There's so many openings to that main. Shout out to, oh my god, it's Edward for the 8-month resub, by the way. Thank you very much for joining us for 8 months in a row. But yeah, the first Reaper coming across the map will not be too crazy to see. It's kind of standard, it's kind of expected. It's the follow-up that Snute needs to identify. Now, Snute is someone who has managed to make Lings work for this. Lings with speed. His control's good enough that he doesn't lose too many early on. Usually, Queens will clean up these Reapers, and he doesn't need to get to Roach Ravager. But again, I really want to stress, guys, if you really want an easy mode, like if this is Rifkin's advice, right? I don't give a lot of advice because I'm not a pro player, but if you're on the ladder, I don't care what league you are, Masters or Bronze, and you see somebody's 3 racks Reapering you like this, get a Ravager out as quick as you can. Easiest defense of your life. I really can't stress it. Xanster was the most recent example of this, but we saw players do this in the beta all the time. Ravagers outrange Reapers so hard, it's not even funny. The Reapers just can't even fight. Queen does get kind of thrown through the air a little bit. These Queens are getting a little bit low. Nothing too dangerous yet, but MajOr, of course, going to heal a lot faster than the Queens will regenerate. They don't have transfuses ready to go just yet. This is a bit of a awkward dynamic. Snute is going to go for the Roach Warren, though, so props to him. I like that he's going for the Roach Warren significantly. Oh, man, everyone's talking about burgers in chat now. You guys are killing me. Ugh. I actually should probably walk the subway. It's further away and it's better for me anyways, but still. Reapers are getting started. This is what I said, like, Snute is good enough that he doesn't need to rely on roaches. His multitasking is great, his ability to split and control his units is fantastic. These Reapers get shredded, and for MajOr, this was a bad thing to happen. The Reapers are supposed to snowball and get out of control. Now he's at a point where Snute could counterattack, and if he makes 3 Ravagers, he can bust up that ramp eventually. He can take out some more of these Reapers. Instead, he's going to take a 3rd base, which is not a bad option. We have the layer coming up behind this as well. But for MajOr's sake, if you open with Reaper build like this, you're really supposed to get almost game-ending damage done. The fact that he only really harassed Snute and mildly annoyed him, traded out for some Lings, that was not good. Now MajOr's invested so much gas. Like, the mineral cost is one thing, of course, but he's invested so much gas that his factory is delayed, his starport's hella delayed. He's going for more barracks than the 3rd CC, and if he's going to mass-produce Marines, that's fine. If he's going 5 racks Reaper, then I've got question marks like, what the fuck are you doing, MajOr? But the problem is, because he's still investing all his gas, he doesn't have that higher tech coming. I mean, the tech labs are great. That's going to be good. But gosh, oh gosh, he's, MajOr's just not going to lock home for him. I want to see how he plays this out. I'm curious what his transition plans are. But right now, it's not looking so great. Now, I guess he was assuming Snute was going back to droning and getting greedy with his 3rd base. Not a bad assumption. But unfortunately for him, Snute was and is getting roaches. It's not just sitting here droning to 70. Roaches are getting some shots on the hatchery. I'm not sure if they'll be able to kill this necessarily. Right now, their job more than anything else is just to make sure the Lynx can't go across the map, but they're forced to stay here and defend. Of course, now the Roaches are popping up, but Roaches actually get Shrek'd by Reapers in low numbers just through the auto attack, but let's not forget that the grenade essentially lets Reapers outrange, use air quotes here, outrange a Roach. This is lots of Marines coming at home. Stimpak, Combat Shields in simultaneous research. We got 1-1 also coming up. Like, MajOr's really gone in hardcore catch-up mode. And he's hoping that Snute has to defend and not counterattack. Because if Snute did have Roach Ravager coming across the map, MajOr doesn't actually have, I'd say, enough to defend, frankly. That's a big part of relying on this tech to finish up. But these Lynx are not going to find anything for them. Unfortunately, with no Bailey Nest, he can't bust up that ramp. MajOr is forced to walk down, though. Lynx are not going to get too much done, though. Again, there's Reapers in the middle of the map waiting to hunt and catch what they can. But aside from that, that's a lot of Roaches. And I gotta imagine Snute's thinking Ravagers. Because Ravagers, in essence, are kind of like ghetto Banelings. In fact, in some ways superior to Banelings. But in terms of tearing down buildings, that corrosive bile shot is almost unmatched in a lot of cases. Roaches are going to snipe off some of these Reapers. But as was pointed out, the grenades are going to be really annoying to deal with. The Marauder count is starting up, and Marauders are exceptionally good against Roaches, but Snute has so many Roaches, and this brute force attack of 84 supply versus MajOr's barely 40 supply. Oh, hey, Ravager Cocoons show up in the production tab. When did they change that? That's kind of cool to see. Anyways, coming up to the top of this ramp, he just dominates everything. That's going to be game. A really abrupt game, but a game nonetheless. Snute going to tie this up 1-1. And once again, we're going to get to go to the ace match. Ace match in chat, guys. I want to see those cards.